In this video, you'll learn how to use the Flyby behavior to create dynamic motion paths. Flyby is helpful when you want to animate objects that leave from, arrive to, or pass through a specific time and place, while easily making changes to its velocity and heading. To get started, let's open the Flyby tutorial scene included in the examples. Select the ship Flyby object and add it to the Timeflow view by pressing Alt-tilde. Right-click on the object and select Add Automation Flyby. The default settings apply a linear motion on the Z-axis, and in the scene view we can see the path. If we increase the velocity, the overall path size increases while maintaining the key position as the anchor point. Let's play the animation to preview it. The first thing we'll want to do is fix the orientation so that the ship is facing the right direction. So we'll rotate it 180 on the Y-axis. Each Flyby animation channel has just one keyframe, which defines the time and a position for the mode selected. This keyframe cannot be removed, and no additional keyframes are permitted on the channel. If we set the position mode to start, the motion starts at the keyframe time and position. Or we can select destination for the motion to end at the keyframe, though for this example, we'll use the Flyby mode, which sets the time and position of the path's midpoint. We can adjust the time here, or drag the keyframe in the Timeflow view. The duration sets the overall time of the path, indicated by the bars extending outward from the keyframe. If hold in and out are enabled, the object is held at the start and end positions of the path when time is outside of the duration. The hold modes are indicated by a ghosted bar section in the Timeflow view. When combining animations, you may wish to disable hold so that Flyby doesn't overwrite the other channels until time is within the duration. The Flyby path, position, and orientation can be set in the following fields. Or in the scene view, you can use the Move tool to reposition it, and then the Rotate tool to change the path orientation. Note, however, that rotation is not applied to the object unless the Apply Rotation option is enabled. We can also enable Reverse to flip the orientation of the object relative to the path. The Direction drop-down menu lists various options to create motion going in any direction. Or you can use Custom to set a specific vector angle. All of these settings create a straight path, though we can also create a path that curves by using an input rotation channel. Since the object does not have any rotation channels, a quick shortcut is to click the Create button. This creates a new animation channel for the object's rotation and sets keyframes at the start, midpoint, and end of the path. We can then select each rotation keyframe and adjust its value to see the effect it has. The rotation channel acts to steer the object, allowing the path to curve in any direction and even spiral. Keyframes may be added to further refine the path shape. In the inspector, the steering slider may be used to set the overall influence the rotation channel has on the path curving, either reducing the curvature or exaggerating it. Note that this only affects the path shape, not the rotation itself. For now, we'll leave it at the default value of 1 so that the rotation has 1-to-1 correspondence to the object's rotation. Notice also that if the velocity value is changed, the path increases or decreases in size while maintaining its overall shape. Instead of using a constant velocity, we can use start to end mode to set the velocity at the start, middle, and end. For example, we can set a higher velocity for the in and out, and 0 for the midpoint so that the object comes to a rest at the keyframe position. Notice that no matter what changes are made, the keyframe's position and time always remains as set. This makes it easy to quickly make changes to an object's velocity and heading while preserving the main destination. This could be useful, for example, to have an object pass in front of the camera. Another option for controlling velocity is using an animation curve. This employs a Unity-style animation curve to control the velocity over the duration of the path. The curve value is multiplied by the base velocity, which we can set here. And the final option is to use the velocity channel, which provides the greatest level of control. When the velocity channel is first created, it automatically sets keyframes for the start, midpoint, and end. These values are initially taken from the start to end mode. The keyframes can then be edited to affect the speed and shape of the path. And of course, you may add or remove keyframes as needed. Note that if you switch to a different velocity mode, the velocity channel remains in place, although it isn't in use. This is so you can go back to it later, or when it is no longer needed, you may delete the channel. Also, at any time, you may clear and reset a velocity channel to the default keyframes by clicking Reset. Next, we have the options to set the scale of the object over the duration of the path. Similar to velocity, the scale may be constant from a start to end value or using an animation curve. Note that if you wish to animate the scale separately, you may simply disable scale here and add it as an animation channel. That concludes this tutorial on using Flyby. Please see the documentation links in the video description below for more information. In the next video, we'll go over using the follow behavior.